Hey everybody, Nurse Liz here. I wanted to take a few minutes and walk you through our parent attestation form that will need to be filled out in the mornings before your student comes to school. So what we're going to do is just walk through that step by step, and hopefully this answers some questions for you. So first things first is you're going to want to go to the school district webpage. And as you can see, the address for that is mlsd161.org. I've got it right up here in the top corner. And you can actually do this from your phone or you can do it from a computer. So if you scroll down, you're going to see a little icon here that says Skyward, and you're going to click on that. Now, for those of you that want to download an app on your phone, the apps are available in the App Store. I know they are there for Apple. I have not looked to see if they're there for Android, but I'm assuming that they are. And you will search Moses Lake School District, answer a couple questions, and then you can actually set up a PIN to access your Skyward account through the app. But we are going to log in the old-fashioned way from the computer. And I'm just going to log in real quick here. Now, my screen pops up and it's a little bit different than everybody else because mine is staff. So I'm going to switch over to Family Access. And this is actually what everybody's going to see when you get into your Skyward account. So this is the one for my son. And what I want to show everybody is this wellness screen or the parent attestation form. So there are two questions on here, and those two questions, the first one asks you about symptoms in the last 24 hours that are not normal to you. So keep in mind that if your student has a chronic diagnosis and some of these symptoms are normal for them, you're still going to mark no. But make sure that you're alerting the nurse of that chronic diagnosis so we have that on file at the school if you haven't done so already. But if all of a sudden you or your student is extremely fatigued, muscle or body aches, you are actually going to mark yes on that question. Okay, so we're asking that everybody's checking for a fever at home. Of course, a fever for us here is anything 100.4 or higher. So if your student does have a fever in the morning, we're asking that you not give them fever-reducing medication and send them to school. The only way that this is going to work is if everybody does their part. So if your student is sick, we ask that you keep them home, okay? So on his, I'm going to mark yes, and that's just for the sake of seeing what happens. And our second question, in the last 14 days, have you been in close contact with a suspected or confirmed case of COVID-19 or tested positive yourself? So I can go ahead and answer that for him, and I'm going to mark no. And I'm going to hit save. Now, save could be at the bottom there, or it could be at the upper right on the one side. And if you've got multiple students in the school district, they will all show up in the same place, okay? So the important thing to know here is that because I answered yes on one of those questions, this next screen will pop up and say, based on your responses, you're experiencing some symptoms of illness or have been in close contact with somebody with a suspected illness. Please stay home today, okay? So if you answer no to both of those questions, your student is healthy, you haven't been exposed to anybody, you're going to get a big green check here saying that you're fine to come to school. So just be aware that if you answer yes to any of those questions, we're expecting that you're keeping your student home. The only way that we're going to make this work is by not sending our students to school when they're sick. So if you've got any questions, don't be afraid to reach out to your school nurse. And if you have login problems, make sure that you're contacting the secretary at the school. Thanks, you guys, and we look forward to seeing your students soon.